the complex system. Okay, all the designs of the system will help you to implement. It will helps for implementing the complex system. They will act as a blueprint. Okay. Next, that's why I mapped CO4 to PO3. Next, next PO4 program outcome. Okay, CO4 is mapped to PO4. What is the PO4? Conduct investigations of complex problem. Here, as a different methodologies are used across the development of the software system, using those methodologies will helps to implement the complex system. As those there are different methodologies, right? Those methodologies will be helpful for implementing the complex system. Next, that's why I mapped CO4 to PO4. Next, PO5. PO5 is modern tool usage. PO5 is modern tool usage. CO4 is mapped to PO5. As UML diagrams will helps for implementing the complex system. Here, to draw the UML diagrams, the tool is used. Which tool is used? Rational Row software. Okay, using that tool, Rational Row software, you are going to draw the diagrams, UML diagrams, which are used to express different software elements. Okay, which will be helpful for you for implementing the complex system. That's why I mapped CO4 to PO5. Once again, course outcome CO4. By the end of the unit, you are going to analyze the dynamics of the system using use case diagram, sequence diagram, collaboration diagram, activity diagram. CO4 is mapped to PO2. CO4 is mapped to PO3. CO4 is mapped to PO4, and CO4 is mapped to PO5. Problem analysis, design, conduct investigations of complex problems, modern tool usage. Okay, let us go right into our topic. Mm, in previous class, we are discussing, okay, use case specification, right? Yes. Okay, let us see. Let me recap for 5 minutes what is use case. Okay, students, anyone can answer what are structural diagrams? Please answer my question. What are structural diagrams? Please answer my question, students. What are structural diagrams? There are 9 diagrams, right? Which diagram belongs to structural diagram? Nothing but static parts. Very good, Navya. Only class object and deployment, Navya. Only class object and deployment. Yesterday I have discussed, right? Yes, very good. Class diagram, object diagram, object diagram, class diagram, object diagram, component diagram, and deployment diagram. Deployment diagram. Very good, Gautami. Kavya, very good. Class, object, component, deployment. Very good. Only 3 or 4 members are there in the class. Every time only these members are answering. Package, component. Okay. Okay, very good. Okay, students, only 3 or 4 members always they are answering. Okay, see here. Structural diagrams are nothing but static parts. Here, class diagram is a structural diagram. Object diagram is a structural diagram. Component diagram is a structural diagram. Deployment diagram is a structural diagram. Okay. Now let us see. What are behavioral diagrams? Behavioral diagrams. There are many diagrams, right? Use case diagram. Use case diagram. Next, activity diagram. Activity diagram. Next, sequence diagram. Collaboration diagram. There are many diagrams. Collaboration diagram, state chart diagram. Okay, use case diagram, activity diagram, sequence diagram, collaboration diagram. Next, anyone answer my question? Yes, very good, Kavya. Use case, sequence, collaboration, state chart, activity. Okay, I hope you have understood all those things. These are basic things. Without these are very basic things, right? You need to know all these things. What are dynamic parts and what are static parts? Okay. Now let us see. One second. Okay. Yesterday in previous class we have discussing about use case specification, right? Once again I will explain it. Just recap for 10 minutes. Use case specification. Specification. Use case specification is nothing but detailed description of use case. In analysis phase, you are going to identify use cases, right? Or in requirement phase. In requirement phase, first phase of development, software development life cycle, you are going to identify the use cases. Use cases are nothing but functionality of the system, right? Now after identifying each use case, what you need to do, you need to specify detailed description of use case, nothing but use case specification. Detailed description. First it contains a brief description. Okay, brief description. What you are going to write, what you are going to write is, see, you should not write paragraphs, you should write only 2 or 3 lines. You need to describe what is the use case is doing. Okay, what is the functionality of the use case, what it does, what what it does. Okay, just explain in 2 or 3 lines, that's all. No need to write paragraphs. Just explain in 2 or 3 lines about the use case or about the functionality, what the use case is doing, what is the functionality of the use case. Okay, next, second one. What is the second one, students? First one is brief description. What is second one? See, you need to answer. First one is brief description. Second one, what is second one? Yes, very good. 32 roll number. See, all the students must answer. Only 2 or 3 members are always answering. Are you not able to understand my class? I'm not saying properly. Students, are you able to understand my class? Only 2 or 3 members always responding. Okay, see. Okay, 501, very good. Only 2 or 3 members always responding. Okay, see here. Actors. Actors, you need to identify the actors, right? Actors are nothing but who are interacting with the system. Either it may be a person or either it may be a system like database. Okay, see, actors. See, you are developing the system, right? Someone must use the system, right? Why you are developing the software system? Users to use the system, right? Who will use the system? Users. There will be users, right? Either it may be the person or either it may be system. Okay, either it may be a person or either it may be system. Okay, all are called actors who are interacting with the system or with which system the system you have developed is interacting. All are called actors. Now here there will be two actors, primary actor, secondary actor. What is meant by primary actor, students? You need to respond. Please respond. What is meant by primary actors? Who are primary actors? Students, who are primary actors? Who uses the system? Navya, very good. Who are using the system's functionality? You have developed the system, right? Okay, that means someone must use that functionalities, right? Okay, those are primary users, the users who are developing, sorry, the users who are using the system. Very good, Navya. Next, who uses the system? Who uses functionalities? Okay, functionalities or system, whatever it may be. Okay, next, who are secondary users? Sorry, secondary actors. Who are secondary actors? Who manages the system? Very good, 52. Sumaya. Was that? Who was the name? Sumaya. Okay, 52. Very good. Kavya. Who manages the system? Okay, very good, Kavya. See, secondary actors means, see, you have developed the system, right? There may be a bugs or there may be errors, right? Someone must maintain it, right? Or the system needs some assistant. Someone must rectify the errors. Someone must fix the bugs. Okay, that means someone must manage the system. Who is that? Admin. Admin is nothing but secondary actor. Someone must manage the system. Someone must admin the system. Okay, your system, what you have developed, that system must have some assistant. Okay, Those are secondary actors, nothing but admin, who manages the system, who maintains the system. Next, what is the third one? Students, I won't say, please respond. What is the third one? First one is brief description. Second one is actor. Third one, what is the 1 second? Yes, very good. 32. Very good, Gautami. Roll number 503. Preconditions. Very good, Kavya. Navya, very good. Pre conditions. Very good. Preconditions. See, precondition means if a condition which is met before the use case is executed. Okay, that condition you need to write before the use case is executed. Before the use case is executed or before the use case starts, if any condition needs to be met or if any conditions needs to be executed, that condition you need to specify. I hope you understood precondition. See, name itself it is saying precondition. Before any use case starts, if any condition needs to be executed, that condition you need to specify. What is the fourth one, students? Fourth one, basic flow. Yes, very good, Gautami. Roll number 503. 20, Kavya, very good. Okay, 32, very good. Flow of events or basic flow. Navya, very good. Okay, very good. Yes, basic flow or flow of events, whatever it may be. Basic flow or flow of events. What this describes? See, every use case will have some set of actions to be performed, right? That you need to write step by step. Step by step, you need to explain basic flow, which describes who starts. You need to begin like this. Who is starting? Who is starting? You need to begin. Who starts the use case? Who starts the use case? And what are the data? What are the data that are exchanged? That are exchanged between user and system and use case, whatever it may be, use case or system. See, in basic flow, you need to write the action sequentially one by one. First, you need to start with who is starting the use case, how the use case is beginning, who is starting, who is initiating the functionality, and what are the data that are exchanged between the user and the system. Okay, during that functionality, okay, during that use case execution, that you need to write. And last, you need to write how use case ends, how use case is ending. That is basic flow. What is fifth one, students? Students, what is the fifth one? Yes, very good, Gautami. Kavya, 32, very good. 24, Bhuvanesh. Oh, Bhuvanesh is answering. Very good, Bhuvanesh. Alternative flow, very good. Alternative flow. See, when alternative flow is executed, when you will say it is an alternative flow, when there is a deviation from basic flow. What is a basic flow? For example, you take a login. What is the basic flow of the login? You need to enter the username, you need to enter the password, and next you need to submit the button, login button. Okay, if it is successful, you can use the functionalities of the system. Okay, this is the basic flow. For example, if you have entered the wrong password or wrong username, you will get some message, right? Some error message, password is wrong. So that messages are called alternative flow. That means you have you are deviated from the basic flow. Okay, when you are deviated from the basic flow, alternative flow is executed. Alternative flow is nothing but some error messages. Okay, when you deviate from basic flow, you need to write all these alternative flows. Next, what is the next sixth one, students? Very good, Navya. Post condition. Okay, Gautami, very good. Kavya, 32. Roll number 20, 30, 32, 3. Okay, 24. Bhuvanesh. Okay, very good. Okay, see, post condition. Post condition. When this is executed, see, when what you need to do here, what you need to specify here, the condition which is executed or which is met after the use case is completed. Okay, you need to specify the here, you need to specify a condition. What is the which condition you need to specify after the use case is completed? If there is a some condition to be met, or if there is a some condition to be executed, that condition you need to specify. Name itself it is saying post means after the use case is executed. If any condition is to be met, that condition you need to specify. Now let us see with an example. I hope you understood. This is the use case description. This is the use case description. Okay. 1 second, please wait. 1 second. Wait. Okay, let us see. Just wait. Wait for a while. Okay. Let us see. Let us see the post attendance. Posting and attendance. Specification of posting and attendance. First, I will show you. Just wait. See, first, see, I'm talking about the college administrative system or information system of information system of the college. Okay, I took the application called information system of a college, or you can write like this, college administrative system. Okay, I took that application. I will explain this application first. As you know, already know what all these things we are using, right? First, you need to log in. After login, after login it is successful, you can use all these functionalities, right? There are many functionalities. Like what I can do, I'm a faculty, right? What I can do, enter marks, modify marks, all these are functionalities. Okay, display marks, upload the course file. Next, attendance, post attendance, delete attendance, view attendance, monthly attendance, students. I can see the profile of the students. You can write on your own way. Okay, these are all functionalities. All these are functionalities. I can view the uploaded videos, I can view the online videos, I can update the faculty details. All these are requirements only. All these are functionalities. There will be many use cases. Now I will show you post and attendance. I'm talking about the post attendance, right? See, to post the attendance, just I'm clicking the post attendance only. There are no preconditions to be met. There are no, to start this functionality, to start this use case. Okay, to start these functionalities, I'm not doing anything. Okay, there is no preconditions to be met. So preconditions are nothing, none. I want to click just post attendance. That's all. Okay, no conditions are met. No preconditions. Just click the post attendance. You will get like this. Just wait. See the sequence of steps. What I should do? 1 second. See, post attendance. What I need to do first, I need to select. You need to write sequentially. Okay, what you are doing with this, after clicking the post attendance, you will get like this, right? You need to write the description, flow of events. First, I need to select academic year. After selecting, I need to select semester. After selecting semester, what I need to do, see here. See, subjects. In this semester, what the subjects I'm teaching, those subjects will be appear. I need to select one of the subject, which I need to post the attendance. Next, what I need to do? I need to select the date. I need to select the date. After that, system will provide the period. Okay, nothing but class hour. Okay, system will prompt the class hour. You need to select it. After selecting, I need to click the get student list. I will get the student list. After that, what I'm going to do? See, you need to write all these things. Okay. After that, what I have to do? I need to select the absentees like this. Just like that. Simple example. Just like this. I need to select the absentees. Something like this. I can select the absentees, and then after that I can submit. I have to submit the absentees. Now, what is the post condition? See, use case is completed. The functionality is completed, right? I have posted the attendance. How the functionality is beginning? When I want to post the attendance, how the functionality is beginning? Okay, when I want to post the attendance, just click the attendance. There is no preconditions. There are no preconditions to be executed. Just click the attendance, and then all the activities I need to do. After that, I need to submit. After submitting, see here, what is the post condition? Here you will get submitted successfully. If you have submitted successfully, everything is successful. Here, see, submitted successfully will be displayed. This is the post condition. Compulsory, the after submitting this statement, sorry, this message must be executed. This is the post condition. You need to get this message. Otherwise, you didn't submit it successfully. Okay, I hope you understood. Is it clear, students? This is the workflow. This is the flow of events. You need to write one by one what system is prompting and what you are doing. That you need to explain one by one. And the post condition is after successful, you will get a message like this: submitted successfully. If you didn't get this message, means you didn't submit it successfully. Again, you need to submit. Okay, clear, students? Is it clear? Did you understand what I'm saying? Please respond. Did you understand what I am saying? Okay, Kavya. Okay, students. I hope you understood. I have to delete this attendance. Please wait. 1 second. Wait, I will delete the attendance. Today's attendance. Yes, see here. I have deleted the attendance, right? To delete the attendance, just I need to click the attendance. No preconditions. There are no preconditions to be met. After I have deleted, see here. Attendance deleted successfully on 30 period 1. Okay. See, this message need to be displayed. If this message is not displayed, you didn't sorry, it is not successful. Okay, attendance is not successfully deleted. Okay, you need to go to the attendance. Again, you need to select the delete attendance. I hope you understood. This is the post condition. This must be executed. Okay, that means this must it should show this message, so that you will understand whether you have submitted successfully or not, whether it is deleted or not. Okay, now let us see. Already you know all these things. Okay, see here, post attendance. Okay, brief description. You need to write at least 1 or 2 lines only. Don't write paragraphs. What this post attendance use case is doing? Okay, just functionality. You need to describe what the post attendance is about. Okay, just a description. This use case describes how faculty posts attendance, students attendance of a class into which system. You are posting into which system? We are faculty is posting into CAS, college administrative system, or information system of a college. Here I took the application called information system of a college or college administrative system. Now once again see the brief description of the use case post attendance. Nothing but faculty post the students attendance. That's all. Faculty post students attendance of a class into information system of the college. Next, see who are the primary actors who are executing. Sorry, sorry, who are interacting with this functionality, with this use case? Faculty, right? Not students. Students will not post the attendance. Student will view the attendance. So don't write students. Okay, actors, primary actors or faculty members only, because faculty will post the attendance. Next, secondary actor. Who are secondary actor? Who will manage the system? There will be admin, right? Admin. Next, preconditions. There are no preconditions. See, I'm clicking only if I want to post the attendance. I'm clicking only post attendance. No preconditions to be met. Okay, no conditions are executed before that. None. Next, fourth one, flow of events. Now here you need to write sequentially, one by one. Don't write paragraph just like this. Just write point wise, one by one. Now what you need to write in basic flow, who is starting the use case, you need to write compulsory. You need to write who is starting first point. Who starting, who sorry, who is starting the use case or who is starting the functionality? Faculty. When faculty wants to post the attendance into the information system of the college, use case starts. You need to write who is starting the use case or who is using this functionality, post attendance. Faculty member. When faculty member wants to post the attendance into information system of a college, this use case starts. You need to write like this. And second point, system request faculty to select academic year. Just now I have shown, right? That one by one you need to write. First I need to select academic year. Next, what I need to do? Just now I have shown what I need to do. I need to select semester. Next, I need to select subjects. Subjects will be displayed. Next, after selecting the subject, I need to select the class, date. After that, system will display the periods. Okay, periods of the class hours. Next, what I need to do? I need to select the periods, and then system will display the list of students. After listing the students, what I need to do? I need to select the absentees, and then I need to submit. Okay, this is the flow of events, basic flow. Now let us see the what is alternative flow. Alternative flow is nothing but deviation. Deviation, what is this? Choose either, not invalid. Just wait, for 1 second, just wait. Okay, students, see here, alternative flow. If the basic flow, if in the basic flow the faculty selects the date where there is no class. Okay, where there is no class. For example, if today I have no class, again I am selecting 30, then no, what it will display? Some error message. Okay, there are no hours, class hours today for me. Just an example. So what I need to do? Again I need to go to the basic flow. Again I need to select the, if I want to do something, again I can return back to the basic flow. Again I need to select. Or if you selected, see, now today I need to post the attendance of UML. Okay, today I need to select the, uh, sorry, 1 second. Today I need to select the, today I need to post the attendance of UML, but I have selected data structures. Okay, there is no hour for me for data structures. There will be some error message, right? Okay, or nothing will be displayed. So what I need to do? Again I need to return back, right? Again I need to select subject, or otherwise I need to select the year again from starting. Okay, I hope you understood. Okay, this is the alternative flow. Some error message if I selected some wrong date, or if I selected some wrong subject. Wrong subject means, today I didn't have any class for data structures. If I selected data structures, no, some error messages will be displayed. Okay, and there is no class hours for me. Okay, that's why I need to go again. I need to select UML, or otherwise I may go to the beginning, like selecting the, um, so what is this? Selecting the academic year, semester, all those things. Okay, I hope you understood. This is the alternative flow. Next, where is post condition? Okay, see, post condition after I have submitted, I need to get whether I need to know, sorry, I need to know whether I have posted successfully or not. Okay, whether I have posted successfully or not, I need to know, right? So there must be a message to be displayed. Okay, there must be a message to be displayed like this: attendance posted successfully or attendance successfully updated, so that I can continue to the next functionality. Okay, I hope you understood. This is the post condition to be met, so that I will understand whether I have posted successfully or not, so that I can move to the other functionality if I wish, if I want. Okay, these are the post condition, precondition, all those things. Okay, now let us see use case relationships. Relationship between the use cases, relationships in use case diagrams. Let us see it. One second. Please wait for 1 second. Okay. Students, is my voice is audible for you? Any voice is overlapping? Here two classes are going on. Any voice is overlapping with my voice? Any voice is overlapping with my voice? Is my voice is clear for you? Here two classes are going on. Okay, okay, Kavya. Now let us see the relationships. See, these are important. Listen carefully. Let us see the relationships in use case diagram. First relationship is communication or association. See, graphical representation is just a solid line. Just a solid line. See, there are how many relationships? Four relationships. Four relationships. First one is communication. It is nothing but association. Okay, link. Association. It is represented using solid line. Next. 1 second. Next, second one is include. First one is communication. Remember this. First one is communication. Second one is include. How it is represented graphically? Dashed lines with arrow mark. See here, dashed lines with arrow mark. Outgoing arrow mark. Outgoing line. Okay, outgoing line. Once again, see outgoing line, dotted symbols, sorry, dotted lines with arrow mark, dotted line with arrow mark, include. Next, what is the next one? For third one, sorry, third one. Third relationship is extend relationship. How it is represented graphically? See here, how it is represented graphically. Dotted lines with incoming arrow mark, incoming with incoming arrow mark. See, don't get confused between include and extend. Include is dotted lines with arrow mark, outgoing. Okay, extend means incoming. Incoming, dotted line with arrow mark, that is incoming. Okay, towards, coming towards. Okay, now fourth one, generalization. See, generalization, draw a solid line and then draw a triangle. Draw a solid line and then draw a triangle. This is the relationships. Okay, I will explain each one by one, each thing one by one. Once again, see how communication is represented using solid line. Next relationship is include. How it is represented using dotted lines, outgoing. Okay, arrow mark. See the arrow mark, outgoing. Next, extended relationship, dotted lines. Okay, included relationship and excluded relationship is represented using dotted line with arrow mark. But see the difference. Include is outgoing arrow mark and extend is incoming arrow mark. See, coming towards. Okay, next fourth one is generalization. It is represented using solid line and then triangle. Okay, next let us go into the detailed description, sorry, detailed things. Okay, see, communication link, it is nothing but association link which represents there is a link between act. Here see, communication link, communication link is between the actor and the use case. Okay, communication link will be between the actor and use case only. Communication link will be between actor and use case only. What it represents? What it represents means this actor communicates with this functionality, or this actor uses this functionality. Okay, there is a link between actor and the functionality, or actor and the use case. What is that link? Just you have drawn a solid line. Okay, solid line is nothing but association. You can represent arrow mark also like this. Your wish, you can represent like this arrow mark. Okay, is nothing but actor is participating in this use case, or actor is using this use case. Okay, communication is a relationship between the actor and use case. Remember that. See the example. Student login. Student. Okay, student is an actor, right? Student is an actor. Login is a use case. What is the relation between the student and login? Student have to log in into the system, right? So what is the relation between student and login? Association or link? Just draw a solid line. It shows that student is using this functionality, or student is participating in this functionality. I hope you understood communication link. Once again, see the PPT. Okay, now let us see another relationship. 1 second. Okay, see, next relationship is include. Listen carefully. Next relationship is include. This relationship will be in between use cases. Okay, once again, see, communication link will be in between actor and use case only. Communication link will be in between actor and use case only. Next, include relationship. This relationship will be in between use cases only. Between the use cases only. Now, let us see what is include relationship. See, if one use case is using the functionality of other use case, then the relation between these two use cases are include relationship. Okay, once again I will explain. See, if one use case is using the functionality of other use case, see here, use case 1 is using the functionality of use case 2. Now the relation between the use case 1 and use case 2 is include. See, dotted lines, dotted line, arrow mark. What this specifies? And you need to give stereotype like this. Include, include. Okay, stereotype. Include two less than symbols, include two greater than symbols. Okay, see here, what include relationship specifies is, once again I am repeating, use case, if use case 1 is using the functionality of use case 2, then you need to represent relation between those two use cases or include. Okay, you need to give dotted lines and then arrowhead, and then you need to use stereotype. Two less than symbols, include two greater than symbols. Now see here, here use case 1 is called base use case. Use case, 1 second, I will zoom it. See here, use case 1 is called base use case, and use case 2 is called included use case, because this base use case is using the functionality of included use case. Okay, without use case 2, see, without use case 2, use case 1 cannot be executed, because if this base case want to be executed completely, it will call use case 2. Okay, without use case 2, this base use case is incomplete. Remember that include relationship means one use case will use the functionality of other use case, or while executing this use case 1 will call use case 2. Without calling use case 2, base use case functionality will not be completed. Okay, is it clear, students? Are you able to understand? Shall I repeat it again? Please message. Please message in chat box. Are you able to understand? This is very important. Include. Okay, very good, Swati. Okay, okay, Swati. Only Swati. Remaining members, please respond. Kavya, okay? Okay, I will continue. Okay, I hope you understood. See, include relationship will be in between use cases only. Now let us see an example. You will understand well. See the example. Here, withdraw funds. withdraw funds. After withdrawing, after doing some transaction, after withdrawing the money, see come after withdrawing the money, see balance must be updated, right? Compulsory balance must be updated. That means this use case, what is this use case? Base use case. Base use case, what is the base use case? Withdraw funds. This is one of the functionality in banking application, right? Here I took banking application. Banking application. Here one of the functionality of banking application is withdraw. You are doing some transactions. So when you have done some transactions, compulsory you need to get balance message, right? That means this use case must include the update balance use case. Here withdraw funds is called base use case, and update balance is called included use case. Included use case. And relationship is dotted lines. Dotted lines, arrow mark, and use. 1 second, I will zoom it. 1 second. Okay, I will zoom it. See here. Okay, see here. Withdraw funds. Compulsory after withdrawing, balance must be updated. Okay, that's why here this use case will use the functionality of update balance. Af- while it is executing, after withdrawing is completed, compulsory this withdraw funds must call the update balance. Without update balance, this withdraw funds is incomplete, it cannot be executed. Okay, you know that after withdrawing the money you should get some balance, right? Sorry, you should get the balance uh, message. Okay, message, you have to get that message, right? Okay, current balance money you need to get. That means update balance must be executed. There are some sequence of operations to be performed. I hope you understood the relation between withdraw funds and update balances. Include, see here. See, include. What is including? Withdraw funds is including update balance, right? See, outgoing arrow mark, dashed lines, and arrowhead. What is the base use case here? Withdraw funds is base use case, and update balance is included use case. Compulsory withdraw funds will call the updated balance. Without updated balance, base use case is incomplete. Okay, compulsory withdraw funds includes this use case. Without this updated balance, it is incomplete. Okay, next. Okay, again there are examples, I will explain. See here. See, these included use cases. 1 second. Yes, use case. Included use case. See, these included use cases are nothing but some common functionalities. You are identifying some common functionalities, and these functionalities can be used by many use cases. See here, for example, withdraw funds is a use case. It is including update balance. After withdrawing the transaction, after doing these transactions, compulsory update balance must be updated, right? That means this withdraw use case must call update balance in order to execute the withdraw funds. Okay, here included use cases update balance. Next, see here, next one. What is next use case? Deposit funds. What is meant by deposit funds? Okay, crediting. Okay, transferring some money to your accounts. This is also one of the functionality, right? So after transferring the money to your account, compulsory balance must be updated, right? You should get a message, compulsory balance must be updated. Now this deposit funds also includes update balance. Okay, now this included use case can be used by many other use cases. Remember that this is a common functionality. You are identifying some common functionality you are identifying. Those are nothing but included use cases. You are identifying those use cases, and these included use cases can be used by many other use cases. See the example. Next example. See the next example. See, next one is give appointment. Give appointment, it is a use case. This use case includes notify patient. See, after giving appointment, compulsory, they you should get patient should get notification, right? there is an appointment on this date, so and so doctor, like that it should get, right? Patient should notify, right? Sorry, patient should get notifications, right? That means in order to execute give appointment use case, in order to execute this functionality, compulsory notify patient use case must be executed. That means this give appointment base use case, give appointment is a base use case. This use case must call notify patients use case. This functionality must be executed. Otherwise the otherwise give appointment use case is incomplete. After giving appointment, there must be notifications to the patients, right? See the relation between the two use cases. See dotted lines, draw the dotted lines outwards, okay? Draw the dotted lines, give arrowhead, and next give the stereotype like include. Okay, now give appointment is called base use case, and next notify patient is called included use case. Now this use case can be included use case can be used by many other use cases also. Okay, remember that include relationship will be in between use cases only. Okay, I hope you understood. Now let us go to the extended use case. Let us go to the extended use case. One second, I will zoom it. See here, extended use case. What is meant by extended use case? See, this use case executes. See here, this extended use case executes only when certain condition is met. See, now use case 1 is executing. While this use case 1 is executing, when this use case 2 is called, when certain condition is true only. When certain condition in use case 1, I'm talking about use case 1. When use case 1 is executing, if certain condition is met, or when certain condition is true, at that time only this use case will be executed. Okay, see the relationship. Base use case and extended use case. See the arrow mark. Arrow mark is should be towards base use case. Arrow mark should be towards base use case. That means this is an extended use case. Use case 2 is called extended use case. Use case 1 is called base use case. Here, when some condition is met in use case 1, then only use case 2 will be called. Otherwise use case 2 will not be executed. Here, base use case is a complete use case. It is not depending on extended use case, just like included use case. In included use case, base case will be depending on one second, depending on included use case. But when coming to extended use case, this base use case will not depend on extended use case, because this extended use case will be executed when a condition, certain condition in use case 1 is executed. Okay, see, you need to give stereotype. Students, you need to give stereotype. See here, like this, extend, like this you need to give. And arrow mark must be towards base use case. Dotted lines, arrow mark should be towards base use case. Once again, see included use case. See included use case, arrow mark must be towards included use case. Okay, see here, coming to extended use case, arrow mark should be towards base use case. Okay, now let us see with an example. See here, see deposit funds. Deposit funds is nothing but you are transferring some money to into your account, depositing. I'm talking about a banking application. Here I took use case deposit funds. Now see here, while executing these deposit funds, when calculate bonus will be executed, when a condition is met. For example, a condition will be 10,000. If, see, I'm explaining the condition. If current balance is greater than 10,000, then only you need to calculate some bonus. Okay, I hope you understood. When that condition is met, then only the calculate bonus, this use case will be executed. So the relation between deposit funds and calculate bonus is extended, because when you are going to calculate the bonus, when current balance in your account is greater than 10,000, only you are going to calculate the bonus. Okay, when a condition is met only, then only you are going to calculate the bonus. Okay, when a condition is true, when a condition is executed, or when a condition is true only, at that time only this extended use case calculate bonus will be executed. So relation between deposit funds and calculate bonus is extended. See the symbol. What is that symbol? Dotted lines and arrowhead. See, arrowhead should be towards base use case for extended. For extended relationship, arrow mark should be towards base use case. For included relationship, arrow mark must be towards included. Okay. I hope you understood. Is it clear, students? Shall I explain it again, or it is clear? Students, please respond. Is it clear? Okay, students. Time is up. In the next class, I will explain all those things. Okay, in the next class, I will explain remaining things. Generalization and how to draw the how to draw the use case diagram. There are some techniques. You need to follow these techniques. Okay, I will discuss in next class. Okay, any doubts, students? Students, any doubt? Any doubts? Please respond. Any doubts? No doubts. Okay. Okay, students. Okay, students, you can leave the class. Students, thank you so much.